Open your dishwasher right now and look at the pool of gray water in the bottom. If it's sitting there after a full cycle, everyone assumes the pump is dying, and a tech will quote you a new one. But the pump is almost never what's wrong. The water is stuck in the drain hose and no tech points it out, because there's nothing to sell you in a fix you'd do yourself with $1 of hydrogen peroxide. 15 more of these. And number 6 is a seal you're destroying every time you clean it. If you watch the other 2 appliance videos, you already cleared the obvious spots. These are the ones a tech is quietly glad you've never found. And the first one is the water you're staring at right now. Number 1, the dishwasher that won't drain. That gray puddle in the bottom sends people out to buy a new machine, because it looks exactly like a dead pump. Before you believe that, follow the water out. It runs from the tub through a drain hose and on a lot of installs, up through that little chrome dome sitting next to your faucet, the air gap. Almost nobody has ever taken the cap off. Grease, food, and biofilm build up in the hose and clog that dome, and a clogged air gap usually shows itself by backing dirty water up into the sink, though it chokes the whole drain either way. Pop the cap off the air gap, pull the plastic insert underneath, and clear the gunk out by hand. If your setup runs a high loop of hose under the sink instead, feel along it for the soft, gunked up spot. Then pour a cup of peroxide and hot water down the basket at the bottom of the tub to break the film in the hose. A service call for a machine that only needed its drain cleared is a couple $100 you keep. Number 2, the drain your washing machine empties into. Pull the machine out from the wall and look at the hose, and the pipe that hose disappears into behind it. That standpipe is coated on the inside with a black scum of lint, detergent, and grease, and the drain hose cuff is worse. When it narrows enough, the machine backs up mid-cycle, throws a drain error, and pushes a sewer smell back into the room, and everyone blames the machine. A plumber will happily charge you to snake a line you can reach with your own hand. Wipe the hose cuff down with a peroxide damp rag, then pour 2 cups down the standpipe and flush it with the hottest water your tap gives. The smell you blamed on the drain was growing on the inside of a pipe right there behind the machine. Number 3, the machine you drink straight out of. If you've got one of those big bottled water dispensers, the cold spout, the reservoir behind it, and the drip tray you set the glass on are all growing a slick film and every cup runs through it. Nobody cleans it because nothing about it ever breaks. Lift the bottle off, drain the reservoir, and wipe it and both spigots with peroxide. This next part is not optional. Rinse it out with clean water and run a few cups through before you drink again, because you're putting this into your body, so the rinse matters more here than anywhere else. Then wipe the tray and the little grate it hides under, since that's where the pink slime shows up first. Do it every couple of months, and the water stops tasting like plastic. Number 4, the flap on the outside of your house. Walk around to where your dryer vents through the wall and lift the little hood flap on the end of it. What's caked on the flap and packed in the duct behind it is lint held together with mildew, damp from every load, and that trapped moisture is why your dryer smells and why your towels come out worse than they went in. It's also the number 1 cause of dryer fires, which is why the fire service keeps telling people to clean their vents, so this one isn't only about the smell. Clear the lint out of the duct as far back as you can reach, then wipe the flap and the mouth of the vent with peroxide on a cloth to kill the mildew. A blocked vent also makes the dryer run 2 and 3 cycles to dry 1 load, which is money leaving through your electric bill every single week. If any of these have already saved you a call or a part, take a second and subscribe. We put out one of these every week, and I tell you the fixes, the trades would rather you paid them to find. Now back to the machines. Number 5, the little door on your dishwasher that stops opening. The detergent and rinse aid dispenser has a spring-loaded flap, and over the years, hardened soap and gunk build up in the hinge until it sticks shut or opens late. When it does, your dishes come out with soap still on them, and that reads like a broken dispenser assembly, which is a part a tech is happy to swap. Most of what's jamming it is caked detergent, so soften that first with hot water and work it out of the hinge with an old toothbrush. Then go over it with peroxide for any mildew in the damp corners of the cup, and wipe the rinse aid cap and its seal while you're there. The flap almost always just needs the crud cleared out of the way so it can move again. Number 6, the seal the title's about, and it's not the washer gasket from last time. It's the lid seal on your chest freezer, or the upright one out in the garage or the basement. That soft rubber gasket meets warm, damp room air on one side and cold on the other, so condensation sits in the fold and mildew takes it over, especially anywhere humid. Here's where it turns expensive. The internet tells you to scrub a moldy seal with bleach, and most fridge and freezer makers put a line in the manual telling you not to because bleach dries the rubber out, cracks it, and takes the spring out of it. A gasket that's lost its spring stops sealing. Then warm air leaks in, frost builds up, the freezer runs non-stop to fight it, and the compressor, the single most expensive part in the whole machine, works itself to death. Peroxide kills the mildew without drying the rubber out. That's the whole reason it belongs here. Peel the fold back, clear it out, pack a cloth soaked in peroxide into the gasket the whole way around, wait 15 minutes, then scrub it with a toothbrush. Then get it fully dry because a seal left damp just grows the mildew back in a few weeks. And once that rubber cracks, the freezer runs non-stop until the compressor gives out. Number 7, the pitcher in your fridge door you drink out of every day. If you use a filter pitcher, a Brita, or anything like it, lift the lid and look at the top reservoir, the part the water sits in before it drips through the filter. A slick biofilm grows right along the water line there, because the plastic stays wet and nobody ever scrubs it, and every glass you pour runs down through it. Take the whole thing apart, pull the filter out and set it aside, and wash the reservoir and the bottom tank in peroxide. Then rinse every piece with clean water and run one full pitcher through and tip it out before you drink, because this is water going straight into your glass. Do it every time you change the filter, and what comes out tastes like clean water again. Number 8, one honest thing, because peroxide is not a magic spray, and half the internet treats it like one. It only touches living growth, the mold, the mildew, the biofilm. It does nothing to grease. So the greasy mesh filter over your stove, the inside of your oven, the basket in your air fryer, none of those are a peroxide job. They need hot water and dish soap or a real degreaser. And it does nothing to hard water scale either. That white crust in your kettle, on your shower head, in the coffee maker. That's a job for discolor or vinegar, not peroxide. Knowing which of the two you're looking at, living growth or dead mineral, is the difference between fixing the thing and spraying the wrong bottle at it for a month. Number 9, the parts inside your washer drum that pop out, and almost nobody knows they do. Look at the plastic paddles, the lifters that stick out of the drum wall and tumble your clothes. On a lot of front loaders, those unclip, and behind them is a hollow space packed with sock lint, hair, grit, and a black biofilm, plus the odd coin or hairpin. That's a real source of the smell people blame on the whole machine, and it sits somewhere a tech has to open the drum to reach. Pop a paddle out, Rinse the muck that pours out of it and soak it in peroxide for 15 minutes before it clips back in. If yours don't come out, shine a light in the holes and flush them with peroxide and hot water instead. It's the hidden pocket in the one appliance you'd swear you already cleaned. Number 10, the dishwasher again, but the whole tub this time. Once a month, pour a cup of peroxide into the bottom of the empty tub, or stand an open cup of it on the top rack, and run the hottest cycle with nothing else inside. It clears the film off the tub walls, the heating element, and the spray jets all at once, and it kills the funk that a single spot clean never reaches. Leave the door cracked open when it's done so the inside dries out. One rule for this one, and it's not optional: don't add vinegar or bleach to that same run, for a reason I'll get to in a minute. Number 11, the reason the smell keeps coming back, and it comes down to a habit. Your washer and your dishwasher both have a cycle called something like clean washer or sanitize, and people run it and think the machine cleaned itself. All that cycle does is push hot water through the drum or the tub. It never reaches the gasket fold, the dispenser drawer, or the drain filter, which is exactly where the growth lives, so you still have to get in there by hand. And most of it comes down to one thing: too much detergent. Modern machines use a fraction of the water old ones did, so the extra soap never rinses out. It just sits there as sludge, and that sludge is the food the biofilm grows on. Cut your detergent down and half your smell problem never starts. Number 12, the tank of dirty water you didn't know you were storing. If you've got one of those portable carpet and upholstery cleaners, a Bissell or something like it, it has a recovery tank, the one that sucks the dirty water back up out of the carpet. That tank sits full of warm filth between uses and grows a biofilm you can smell the second you open it, and the spray lines hold it too. Empty the tank, fill it with peroxide and warm water, run the machine to pull that mix back through the lines, then empty it again and leave everything open to dry. If you got a steam mop instead, the tank and the pad are what you clean, so wash the tank in peroxide, rinse it, and machine wash the pad. Just keep the peroxide out of the boiler and only ever run plain water through the heating element. A tank or a pad you store wet is why the thing smells like a wet dog next time you drag it out. Number 13, the little fridge nobody thinks to clean. A wine fridge or a beverage cooler has the same damp corners as a full-size one, plus a drip channel at the bottom where condensation collects and sits. It grows the same film in the same corners, and it taints whatever you've got chilling in there. Pull everything out, wipe the interior, the corners, and that drip channel with peroxide, and dry it before you load it back up. Small box, same problem, and it never gets open for a cleaning because it's not the kitchen fridge. Number 14, the one you breathe, and it's the machine that does the opposite of the humidifier from last time. A dehumidifier pulls water out of the air, and the bucket it drips into sits warm and full and grows mold and a pink bacterial slime on the walls. Here's the part that matters. The fan pulls room air across the cold coils and the fins behind the grill, and mold grows on those too, so what's living on the coils rides out into the air the machine blows back into the room. The bucket water itself isn't sprayed at you the way a humidifier mists, but you still don't want a tray of that sitting where you sleep. Empty the bucket every day it runs, soak it in peroxide, wipe the coils and fins gently, rinse it, and let it dry. Standing water is the whole problem, same as it always is. Before the last one, the safety rules, and these aren't optional. Never mix peroxide with vinegar, not in the same bottle, and not by spraying one right after the other into a closed machine, because together they make a corrosive acid that burns your eyes and lungs. If you want both, use the peroxide, rinse with plain water, then bring the vinegar in. Never mix peroxide or vinegar with bleach either. And before your hands ever go inside one of these, pull the plug, or flip the breaker. No exceptions. Number 15, and this one is almost funny, because it's the machine you bought to clean everything else. If your robot vacuum also mops, or it lives on one of those docks that empties and washes it for you, go find the tanks. The clean water tank grows a slick, the dirty water tank is worse, and the mop pad sits damp on the dock between runs and turns sour. So the thing that's supposed to be cleaning your floors ends up smearing a biofilm across them and drying it in streaks. The self-wash dock is the real horror, because the used water sits in a bin down inside it for days. Pull every tank in the pad, wash them in peroxide, rinse the tanks well, machine wash or replace the pad, and wipe out the dock tray. Do it every week or two if it runs a lot. The cleaner turning out to be the dirtiest thing in the house is exactly the kind of problem nobody goes looking for, which is the whole reason this list exists. None of these are repairs. That's the whole point. It's the same living film every time, just parked in a different wet corner, and half of them are spots a repair tech quietly bills a diagnostic fee to come and find. A tech knows every one of them. He also gets paid to show up and point, so you don't have to memorize 15 separate jobs. You just need the one rule. If a spot inside a machine stays wet between uses, something is living in it, and $1 of peroxide clears it out. Run that rule around the rest of your house, and you'll turn up corners we never touched. And if you want the ones that actually cost real money when they go, the washer, the dishwasher, and the fridge, I put those in their own video, and it's up on screen now.